We're doing this virtual kickoff because we did an event in San Francisco for this hackathon on Tuesday evening. And thanks to everyone who made it out there in person. But we also felt like it'd be great to include the virtual folks and do more of like a webinar kickoff for this event. If you're coming from the Kilo Discord, then you might have already seen the links to the submission forms and all the information about the hackathon. But what we're going to do right now is we're going to go through the hackathon topic. We're going to talk about how you can enter, and then we're going to talk about how you can set up Kilo. And I'm joined by my friend Alex from Novita here, who's going to talk about what Novita is and how to use it in Kilo to help you build your entry for this hackathon. So that's the requirement for this contest. You have to use Kilo with Novita to build this, which is the topic is to build either a resume site, so like a website showing your resume, a portfolio site, so a site showing a portfolio of your work, or if you're a founder or if you're pitching a startup, you can build either like a startup site or a pitch deck, even slides for your startup. And the goal is to make something good enough that it makes someone want to reach out to you. So we're going to be judging based on a mixture of things like creativity, aesthetics, but also importantly is execution. So I'm sure a lot of people have experience, like you go on a really cool website, but it's hard to navigate and it's hard to get the point across of what that website actually is intended for. So it's kind of a compromise with that. We want, if you build a resume, we're going to pick the resume that makes us want to reach out to you the most. Or if you build a portfolio, we're going to pick the site that makes us really interested in your work. So that's the premise. I'm just going to go through a quick demo of how you can use Kilo for anyone who doesn't already know. I'm sure there's some folks from the Kilo world already watching and knows what Kilo is, but some folks might not. So basically, Kilo is an open source AI coding agent. So if anyone has heard of Cursor or Claude Code, it's a similar experience to that, but it's open source, meaning the source code is public and available. And it's also model agnostic, which means that you can use any AI model underneath it, and that's going to become important later when we hook up Novita. And then the other thing is that it has multiple interfaces. So you can code in VS Code. You can code with a CLI if you prefer to work in the terminal. This demo is going to focus on VS Code just because I think it's a little bit more beginner friendly, but you're welcome to use CLI as well. So the way that you could download Kilo, if you haven't downloaded it already, is, I'm going to throw this in the chat here, is just at kilo.ai. And I'm going to share my screen actually. Here. So you go to the home page here. And you can click here, just code for free, and it will open Visual Studio Code, so VS Code. And here's a quick demo that I made back in the day. Or you can go to the CLI here, and you can copy this command and enter it into your terminal, and it will start the Kilo CLI. Or you can use JetBrains if you prefer JetBrains. But I think for most people, VS Code, just click this button. If you don't have Visual Studio Code installed, you can just Google that real quick and install the first link there, and then open the Kilo extension and install the Kilo extension after you do that. And here's what that'll look like in VS Code. So I'm just going to jump over to a different screen here. Okay. So this is my VS Code here, and I have Kilo up and running it. Or if you already have VS Code, another way to install Kilo is just to go to the extensions menu here on the sidebar, search for Kilo, and this will say install if you haven't already installed it. And then once you install it, it'll pop up here as this is the Kilo chat agent. And basically, the way you work with it is you just type what you want. So, for example, I would type, I could maybe paste my resume into the chat and imagine I did that. I could say, build a modern resume landing page with animations and modern design practices, and then I would kick that off and Kilo would start coding. But part of this challenge is that you have to use Novita to supply the underlying models. So I'm gonna maybe hand it over to Alex to explain
Mhm.
what Novita is and how to get a Novita API key, because that's going to be the next step in the setup for this hackathon. So
Yeah,
Alex, you can take over. Yeah.
yeah, I appreciate Brian. So, I'm going to like briefly introduce like who we are and what we're doing right now. So, and how you guys can get a Movida key to kind of uh let me share my screen.
Yeah.
Share screen. No, okay, here we go. Yeah. So, am I sharing right now?
Um, yes. Let me. There you go. I had to pull it on.
Yeah. Okay. So, here's our website, and we're kind of basically AI agent cloud you can consider. And if you're too lazy to read every word on the website, you can just copy this, copy our scale, and ask your agent use Kilo. There is a very interesting feature I really like about Kilo is they have free modal. It's kind of like they aggregate all of those free modals, and you can use it just use it without input anything any money. So yeah, just copy this and use Kilo to kind of pass to ask your agent like what is Novita and what we're doing, what kind of models that we can offer. So as you can see, we're cooperating with most of the large language models like Z.AI, Minimax, Kimi. Yeah, or you can see is here we have images. So yeah, Sandbox is actually another product line, and we're kind of pushing it right now because we believe that this is the future of AI agents. If we want to, let's say, if we want to exclude your kilo code like remotely, you can use you can install the kilo code into our sandbox, and you can call that agent to work for you 24/7. Anyway, there's a lot of use case in terms of sandbox, and we also have a startup program for this. If you're interested, feel free to get into our website. So let's back into the how can you create a key. So as you can see, if you're logging our website with your Gmail or whatever, just click this dashboard over here and go to our console. It's super easy. You can see all of your billing, pricing, and quota, whatever, and create your own key. Let's say if you want to go like, create a kilo or whatever, just don't leak it. And yeah, I think that's it. You can probably have team features, whatever. Uh, it should be very simple. And yeah, that's it. Mm, I will pass the mic to Brian to see how can you connect with Kilo Code
Yeah.
with our API key. Yeah.
Let's do it. Thanks, Alex. Appreciate that concise and informative demo. Super helpful.
Hmm.
All right, so I'm gonna switch to my Kilo account here. Okay. So this is like my Kilo dashboard. So for anyone who is newly installed the Kilo extension in VS Code, or just created a Kilo, or just downloaded any version of Kilo, you're gonna have to sign in or create an account, and you do that.
Hmm.
I'll put that in the chat here, but it's just that app.kilo.ai, so slightly different site. But this is like the Kilo web dashboard. So this is like my profile. So you can see I have 0 credits. So you, um, because we're going to use the Novita API key here. And so Alex just showed you how to get the key, and the way that you use the key in Kilo is to use Novita models with bring your own key. So Kilo has like a built-in API gateway, and sorry if this is getting too technical for anyone who's not super technical, but basically it just means we have something built in that lets you switch between different AI models. So if you want to switch between some of the more popular ones, you can do that freely. But the cool thing about Kilo is that we also offer bring your own key through providers like Novita, who have like more optimized and and more optimized models and models that you can use through billing or through credits with Novita. So the way that you do that is you go to this sidebar here on your Kilo account. You go down to bring your own key, click that, and I already have the Novita key configured here. But if I didn't, you just click add key, select provider, scroll down to Novita. You can see it's already configured, and then you'd paste that key that Alex just showed you how to get. That oops. um,
Oh, okay. You should rotate that.
that's funny. I thought I just okay. It's gone. It's already deleted, so no worries. Um,
Okay.
that's funny. Anyway, you just paste the key here. Um, that button maybe is backwards. Yeah, there you go. And you hit save, and then Novita will be configured as a provider. So again, real quick, just to follow up, the steps are install Kilo, VS Code or CLI. Go to the Kilo account, Kilo dashboard, and create an account. And if you install the VS Code extension, it'll just prompt you to do that to sign in. Go to Novita's website, go to API keys, create a new key, and then paste that down here and bring your own key, add key, Novita provider, enter. And if anyone has trouble with this flow, because again, one of the requirements of this hackathon is that you have to use Novita in Kilo, hit me up on Discord, on our Discord, which I'll share a link to right now. And because that's where we're making all of the announcements about the hackathon. So I did an at everyone announcement to our Discord yesterday, announcing this live in the hackathon. And if you're not in our Discord already, I just threw it in our chat here, so you can access that there, and you can just hit me up. You'll see me in the announcements. Just shoot me a DM or at me or whatever, and I can help you get it configured. So then, now that we have Novita configured, we can jump back to our VS Code extension, and I'll switch to that here. And what we'll see, I'm going to zoom in dramatically here. But what we're going to do is we're going to go to the model drop down here, and we're going to choose a model that has BYOK. And I actually need to switch to my personal account here. So this BYOK symbol will show up next to the models that Novita serves through Kilo BYOK. So maybe what's a good model we could pick, Alex? What's one of your favorites? Alex?
Oh yeah, I prefer DeepSeek for Pro.
Okay, cool. All right, we're already on that one.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So yeah, again, like after you configure the Novita BYOK, these BYOK symbols will show up next to the models that are served by Novita. A lot of the great DeepSeek models here, and some of the other open weights, open source models that people like. So just search for ones that say BYOK here, and then you can go ahead and start building. And we'll say build a modern resume landing page with animations, all that. And again, remember I had 0 credits in my Kilo account here, but since I'm using the BYOK, it's getting to work no problem, because it's going and using my Novita account and credits instead. All right, that is the flow. Are there any questions?
Yeah. Just a simple tips, because I believe everyone here maybe have your own like maybe linking or PDF version of your resume, so you can drop that file, or maybe it's a text file or whatever. You definitely have your own one. So drop
Yeah,
that file uh, into the VS Code, and just use Kilo to use that as a context, so you can actually create your own
yeah,
website. I think, yeah, it's super easy. Yeah.
yeah. I don't. I wish I had my real resume handy, but I'm quite
Okay.
quite satisfied at Kilo, so I haven't downloaded that in a minute. But
Okay.
if you, yeah, you can either. That's a great point. This is to create your actual resume site or whatever. So you can
Mhm.
either just throw it as a file in the file browser here in VS Code, just drop it in, and then you can tell Kilo to reference that, or you can even drop files right into the Kilo chat as an attachment, and it will use that too, or just paste the text into the chat box. Um,
Right, right.
there's a lot of ways to get the context in there. Okay, cool. Um, I want to make sure that if there's anything else you wanted to discuss, Alex, before we do some Q&A.
Yeah. I also want to share how can you use Kilo to create HTML slides.
Yeah,
It's going to be super easy, and since you are using the VS Code, I believe it's a little bit easy to non-technical backgrounds because everyone can install the VS Code. But I want to take a few minutes to kind of share how can you use uh Kilo CLI, because I think a lot of developers they like CLI to do to use Kilo to create stuff. Yeah, let me also share my should be this website.
cool.
I create this is actually the HTML slides I was creating previously. So actually let me jump into this. Okay. Uh so like previously we're kind of present we're kind of present with HTML slide. It was PowerPoint slides or uh, other kind of office stuff to create slides to present your content. But I believe right now, if you're following AI industry, like that we're kind of very hyped in terms of HTML slides, especially this especially the guys from Anthropic. They're kind of very hyping about this. But yeah, I do agree with some of the ideas because HTML slides it's basically made for agents, and it's basically code. And
Yeah,
yeah, you cannot let the agent to read your PowerPoint file because to agent it's images. It's they cannot edit, they cannot even read if they're not multimodal. Anyway, it's I think it's possibly the next generation in terms of presentation, and you can very easily create HTML slides with our API inference with Kilo coding agent. And yeah, I'm going to give you guys an example. This is the prompt that I was using. It's just a single prompt. Create HTML slide, introduce Novita AI, and just one single prompt. I was using DeepSeek before, and yeah, here is the outcome. You can see it's probably very uh, ugly right now because it's just one prompt. Let me open the deck here. Yeah, it's just one prompt, but what they did is the Kilo Code agent uh, web fetch our website and got every information that it needs. For example, like our models are kind of uh, like the slogans or whatever, and you can see this is basically a slide. You can click the button to kind of transfer a lot of information here, the latest models. Like to me, I think the only backdrop is it's kind of ugly right now, but you can still use more fancy prompt or design skills to optimize it. And if you're running your own company and you're going to like introduce your company, introduce your website, just use Kilo and the very simple prompt to create your own I would say landing page or presentation slides. The most important thing is if you want to change the words over here, it's super easy because it's code, it's HTML. If you have the coding experience, you can just jump into the file. But if you're not, you can let the agent to manipulate the code and just change it. uh yeah and I also I also passed the cost. As you can see, it's super cheap, and you can create whatever presentation that you want. Yeah. uh yeah, I think it's just the idea that I want to share. And
Yeah.
with Kilo Code, you can basically do create a lot of cool stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. I appreciate that. That definitely. Yeah. So like, feel free to, like Alex showed, like use the CLI or the VS Code, and again, it can be like a
Mhm.
website or prompts or slides rather. And you can, if you're not technical, you can pretty much get there just by prompting Kilo, and it will do a lot of the heavy lifting for you. Just as long as you give it the true context about yourself and your work, you can just chat with the agent. Make sure you're using the Novita models and the Novita BYOK, and shouldn't take too long to get something cool and viable, and then you can keep tinkering with it and improving it as you go. Um,
Yeah,
okay, cool.
I think we can probably introduce a little bit about our hackathon since it's a kickoff, right? Right?
Yep.
Do you want to like do you want so I think the submission form can be found in Discord, in Kilo Discord and Novita Discord. Uh, it's a link over here, and as you can see, Brian probably mentioned this before already. You can just submit a very simple website or your own portfolio or your like startup HTML slides, just like I mentioned. And the price is 3K in total. Novita keys. We can help social promo and Kilo swag. Yeah, I think that's it. Have do you want to say anything else?
Yeah, no, just that. Just like Alex said, the prizes are great for this one. Like, very generous from Novita for with 3K in credits. We got a bunch of Kilo swag, and then also you'll be plastered all over the Kilo socials and website as the winner. We'll help you amplify whatever you want to amplify, whether it's your startup that you're founding, you as an individual, if you're looking for a job or something.
Mhm.
And if you're building an open source project, it'll also give you instant entry to our open source sponsorship program. So that's maybe for a smaller group of founders, but all the other prizes are for everybody. So I just put the forum in the live as well. It's in our Discord. All you got to do is just click start there, and basically it'll ask you some questions about yourself, and it'll ask you to submit a link to your website. So it looks like that's. Um, hope that form is going through. Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
So, cool. Yeah, so just submit this form in the next, I think, before. So the deadline is July 8th, 11:59 p.m. Pacific. So as long as you submit before then, you'll be entered. We'll Us as the judges will go through each entry individually, and we'll pick the winners accordingly. So yeah, I mean, if anyone has any questions, feel free to throw them in the live. I don't see any questions. I put all the links in the live as
Mhm.
well. We'll do another blast on Discord, and we'll have another webinar a couple days after the submission deadline to announce the winners. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Anything else you wanted to shout out, Alex?
Yeah, I think I think it's good for me. Uh and the hackathon should be super easy, and I hope like everyone can join us, like show your own portfolio. Yeah, that should be fun. Yeah.
Cool. All right, everyone. Thanks so much for joining. tune in a week or so for the next webinar. And if you have any questions, again, ping me in our Discord or throw a question in our Discord, and someone will answer for you and get you all settled. All right. Thanks, everybody. Talk soon.
Yeah.
Thanks again.